Let's take a little twirl around the rink with a morning skate edition of the Inside Edge. Here are your hosts, Bob McElligott and Jody Shelley.
Oh, we do love it. As we said at the Staples Center this morning for the morning skate, Blue Jackets and the Los Angeles Kings tonight. Bob McElligott alongside of Jody Shelley as the Blue Jackets road trip continues, and now it's really going to go fast and furious. 2 more games in 2 days heading into the Olympic break. It all starts right here, Jody, against a team that is struggling, the Los Angeles Kings. First, they had trouble scoring. Then in their last game, they scored 3, but they couldn't defend. They couldn't keep the puck out of the net. They lost to Chicago 5-3. But, again, the Blue Jackets aren't going to take any team lightly. They're not going to take anything for granted, even though they're playing well. They know they got to come in and turn in that old 60-minute effort tonight.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't hear that song that you just had on the Open, because that's the gold song. And they haven't been playing it very much here in L.A., which is a good thing for the Jackets. They got to keep this team down. The Kings are struggling. All the talk is that they can't score. They're playing so awful. They got a pretty good group that's headed to the Olympics, and we spoke of it all week. I think that factors in a little bit. I think Anaheim's getting a little bit of that. I think the LA is, when you have all that success, you get a little stagnant, you get a little complacent, and there might be some factors. But look for this. Look to have a hungry team here in LA for the Columbus Blue Jackets, who, by the way, they're out on the ice. They seem loose and being like. Not too wound tight. It's amazing what a few games of winning will do to a group, and they're back to look like a good confidence group that's having fun. And to me, it's intimidating to watch a group like this if you're the LA Kings. But no one's here watching except us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Blue Jackets finally moved from Orange County up to Los Angeles yesterday. So you had 3 days in the same hotel. That's almost unheard of in hockey. You don't get to spend that much time in one place. And from a player's standpoint, is that nice? Does that help you become a little bit more relaxed when you don't have to be jumping around every other day?
Well, yeah, and you know what it's like. We don't have to unpack the closet, pack it up, put stuff on the bus. They earned a day off the other night against the Anaheim Ducks, and they enjoyed it. You saw guys just sitting around the hotel, going for walks, getting some fresh air. Yesterday was a practice day. They got back to work, then moved down to L.A., which is about a 40-minute drive. Set up down right across from the Staples Center here. And now they're out here today. They're energized. They appreciate that day off, and they know what's at stake here. The next 48 to the next 3 days, really 2 days, I guess, is a big section of this year. A nice push here at the end to keep this rolling and go into the break on a high note. And so, yeah, these little details, it's going to be a quick turnaround here, but this game tonight is very, very important.
Extremely important for the Blue Jackets. We talked about this yesterday. They've played well in Anaheim in the last couple of years. This building has been somewhat of a problem for them here. Do the Kings play differently at home than they play on the road, or is it the intimidation of playing in Hollywood? What is it? What can make it tough to play here?
Yeah, it's the fans. It's the presence of this building. It's the West Coast. It's they're loud in here. I'm telling you that they might not sell it out, but they'll be passionate, loud fans, and they're hockey fans. They know what they expect. So the pressure will be on when they're not doing well. The power play's not clicking. You'll hear it, but when they're doing well, it's loud. The music's pumping. The lights are flashing. It can be a tough place to play, but I think the Blue Jackets don't need to focus on that. They need to focus, it's the same old stuff we've been saying. Focus on themselves. Do what they do. And, let the fans get bored, I guess, with the way the Blue Jackets are going to take away time and space from the L.A. Kings. If you let the L.A. Kings run and gun and Anze Kopitar get the puck and do some dazzling moves, yeah, everyone's going to be excited. But if you just shut him down and hit guys and frustrate the Kings, like they did last game in Columbus, they're going to get the 2 points or have a good chance at it.
Well, a minute ago you were talking about packing up bags and moving to another place, and we've got a guest right now that's done that a lot in his career. These guys are both throwing their hands up. That is called a segue, boys. That's how we do it, right? That's a lead-in. It was a perfect lead-in. We're joined by a guy who, along his travels, was a member of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sean Pronger is with us right now. Always great to see you when we come out here, Sean.
Hey, thanks for having me on. That broadcasting school is really paying off. That was a great segue.
I know. I did get my money's worth out of that. I will say that. But, is it true that you heard that your brother was on this show and then you called Jody and you said you got to have some equal time?
I did, yeah. No, he called me and said, hey, I just did a spot with your guys in Columbus. And I immediately texted Jody, I need to get on the air. ASAP. So fortunately, I didn't even check the schedule, and you guys are out like the next week, so it's great.
What's it like for you to come and watch a morning skate? Something you used to partake in all the time, and now you're out of the game. You're on the outside looking in, but you still like coming in here and getting into this atmosphere?
I do. I love it. I mean, I don't get to do it enough, and especially now, it's a lot more relaxing coming to these pregame skates in this position, not sitting there wondering if I'm in or out of the lineup. So it's a lot more enjoyable from the stands than it was from the ice sometimes.
Yeah, when you walk, I know what you mean. You walk into the rink, you're looking for that little white sheet that's posted up on the coach's door or the chalkboard that says the numbers, the 4 lines that are going to be playing, and it's like, oh, I'm in, or oh, yeah, I'm not in. So I know what you mean. What do you think of these? I know you've played for a few teams, obviously, and you're here in the California area. When you any chance to see the Blue Jackets and what they got going on here?
You know, I unfortunately I only see them a couple times. I watch, obviously watch the highlights, but it looks like a blue-collar kind of hard-working team that kind of competes every night from what I see. I mean, can't say overly talented, but just kind of a great, hard-working team. And that looks like how you guys have success, just from the outside looking in. Yeah,
and the goaltender here is a superstar. He's a guy that's won the Vezina Trophy, and when you have a goalie like that, he really is the horse, and he works hard. When you have a guy that's like that between the pipes, it's infectious, and that's what this group has.
Yeah, well, and it's also nice playing in front of a goalie that stops the puck more often than not. So you feel a little bit more relaxed, and you can kind of make plays and not worry about it ending up in the back of your net with every mistake you make.
Talking about a hard-working team, not necessarily superstars. When you were part of this organization, it was back in the early years, and it was kind of that same mold in those first couple of years for the Blue Jackets too.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think that was year 2 or year 3 of the franchise, and it was just basically a bunch of cast-offs from other organizations. And through the draft, it just takes time to build a team and then acquire some other players that maybe didn't fit elsewhere. And then 15 years. How many years now? 14 years now. This franchise has been around. 14 years later, you're competing for a playoff spot with a solid group of guys that could do damage for kind of years to come.
And when you left Columbus, from then till now, there's been a lot on the way, but bring us up to speed with since you left Columbus and your days there.
Well, let's see what happened. I left Columbus, and then I think I quit hockey. No, just kidding. I from Columbus went to Vancouver. From Vancouver, then Winnipeg was the farm team. Played in Winnipeg and Vancouver, and then Germany for a year, and that broke me. Decided to hang him up. And then with a lot of work from my therapist, was able to my therapist and my wife. I was able to write a book and started a clothing line, and these guys are making me plug my own stuff. So I will say journeymanwear.com, JRNYMNWEAR.com. Try to make it as hard as possible for people to find it online.
Unconventional stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I try to get out and watch as much hockey as I can. I still love the game, but I think I maximized every inch of what I could do, and certainly have no regrets stepping away and just really enjoy watching good hockey.
Do you ever get that urge? Like, you're sitting here today and you watch it, you ever get that urge to get back in some form? Obviously not as a player, but...
What do you mean by that?
I thought you were going in the right direction as a player. I mean, did you get that itch? I bet he does.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you guys still get that itch, but the alumni circuit. But I mean, any other job in the organization? Do you ever think about?
To be honest, I do. Every time, and I think maybe that's why I try to stay away when I can. But because I get near the rink and I get watching, pregame skates or watching games, and I get the itch to be involved. And who knows, down the road, I would love to be involved, but I just don't know at what capacity I would be, the best use of my limited talent. So, but it's certainly fun to get back out and just watch. I love watching guys out here having fun. Pregame skate. These guys seems like a loose loose group. Looks like these guys are ready to play tonight. I wouldn't want to be the LA Kings, to be honest with you.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I do actually. Jody, yes. How are you embracing your new role within the Columbus Blue Jacket organization?
Well, that's a fantastic question, Sean. I'm very fortunate because I played last year and limited, but I was inside at the ropes kind of learning and with my eyes open, which I was fortunate to be able to do. But Columbus had an opportunity for me, and here I am learning with Bob McElligott, Jeff Rimmer, Billy Davidge. These guys have been around, and it's really a nice opportunity. So embracing it, I'm just learning. I'm just thrilled to be on the around. Here I am on the road in California for 5 days, and my wife is back home shoveling snow, and it just doesn't seem right, but it's part of the job, right, Bob?
She's shoveling snow. You're shoveling something.
Again, broadcasting school. Look at that segue right there. You are good.
Well, you heard what he said. I've been around. These guys have been around. But, no, he's doing a great job. And, this might be something you want to consider here. You're not handling this mic too bad yourself.
No, I mean, I've used to do the play-by-play when I was on the bench, so I might as well sit in the booth and do it.
What else you got for us?
That's all I got. I mean, I don't know. We got clothing, we got book. I mean, I don't know what else I can sell on this. I don't know. Yeah, to be honest with you. As a kind of a grinder back in the day, who would you say is kind of your like unsung hero, a guy that, as a guy that doesn't watch your team all the time, who should I look for tonight when they play the Kings? Who should catch my eye?
I think number 11 for me is McElligott. He's a guy who's not very big, but he's not going to back down from anyone. He's always on the puck. He loves to hit. He's a guy that we speak about a lot, but he's not the big ticket guy or the guy that's going to put the game on his back. But he is the guy that's going to drive the engine. Watch number 11 for me.
Noted. I
would say watch Mark Letestu. He's another guy that's underrated. When you don't watch his team all the time, you'd look and say, well, guy's playing on the fourth line. What makes him so important? Well, he'll play on the fourth line with Derek McKenzie and Corey Trop. They mesh well together. They bring great energy. But then he'll also be out there on the power play. And he can play on the point on the power play if they would need him to. He's just all over the place. He's the ultimate utility man, to be honest with you, which is probably something you would appreciate.
Yeah, no, I can admire that. It's not easy to play 18 minutes one night and 4 minutes the next night and to be able to kind of keep your focus, because it can be a lonely bench sometimes when you're sitting there for hours on end.
Here's a question I have for you, because when you were in the minor leagues, obviously you were a first-line guy, but then when you come up to the NHL, you're a third-line, fourth-line guy. How difficult is that, even mentally, to deal with as a player, where you're going from, like you said, you're down in the minor leagues, you're going to play 20 minutes a night, and then you come up here and you might play just 4?
You know what, to be honest with you, I think that actually helped, because it kept my game sharp. I was in great shape, because sometimes you get stuck on the fourth line, you get the puck, all you want to do is get rid of it. You want to dump it in, at least. After you play in the minors for a couple of weeks, you come back up. You're confident with the puck. You have a little bit more jump in your step because you've played a lot. So I think it was beneficial to me. Now, obviously, I'd rather not get sent down, but it wasn't a complete waste of time when I did get sent down.
All right. Before we let you go, you were telling us a little bit earlier today that you're going to start your blog up again for a very good reason, because you're going to put yourself through the ringer. I don't know why you're going to do it. Tell us what you're going to do this summer.
Well, much as a follow-up to the old Journeyman blog, where I was revealing my torturous pro hockey career, I have decided to sign up for a Ironman triathlon in Whistler in July, and I'm going to blog about my journey to the Ironman and all the pain and suffering that goes along with it.
And hopefully you're around to blog after it's over, right?
I mean, I could die up there.
It's a great idea, though. It's a great idea. I'll be reading it, for sure.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm going to get into one of those, too.
And one thing about his book, okay, so Sean wrote this book, and it just, if you know him at all, a great storyteller, great experience, and he's very truthful in all the stories in the book. And you can hear his self-deprecating humor. It's just all about, it's just funny, but it's real. I mean, he went some real stuff, and it's stuff on the bus, off the bus, situations. One story that jumps out is one with Wayne Gretzky in a practice set. Anyway, you got to get the book and read it. And this blog is quite similar, more humor about look how stupid am I?
It won't be humorous for me, but it should be humorous for the reader, because I'll be the guy that's barfing after the 100-mile bike ride. So.
And how do you get the blog?
It'll be up on our site. Again, the easy website to know, JRNYMN, wear.com, journeymanwear.com, coming soon, probably another 2 weeks.
Very creative. Very creative.
All right, well, tonight's game between the Blue Jackets and the Kings gets underway at 10:30. Jody and I will be on the Blue Jackets radio network with you tonight. And, Sean, if you want to show up and do anything with us, you're more than welcome. You can you can do the play-by-play.
Can I call it in for my coach?
Oh, don't we all wish we could do that on some days?
Listen on 97.1 The Fan.
Yeah. All right. Thanks to Sean Pronger for being with us this morning. That's going to do it for the morning skate edition of the Inside Edge.
You've been listening to the morning skate edition of the Inside Edge. Come back every game day to get the breakdown from Bob McElligott and Jody Shelley.